Master musicians seem to play effortlessly with very natural movements. How did they get there? In this video I will examine what we naturally do in our daily life that could help us to play better guitar. My name is Jo Geissler. I'm a guitar coach and I help classical guitarists to better understand their repertoire, and I show the way to improve technique in order to unfold all the musicality a musician could have. Playing music is an art. That means doing things like playing guitar do not exist in nature. On the other hand, the human race has this incredible capacity to do very precise things, just like surgery or fine mechanics, with that non-specific instruments we have, our brain and our hands. Playing guitar belongs to that very specific activities we can do. But nevertheless, we should start by easy everyday movements to consider if we can use them in playing. In that way, we can consider what we have to learn from scratch for playing guitar and what we can use from our habits that we already have. In an earlier video, I already talked about the position of the wrist, for example, movement of the fingers. If you did not see that, just check it out here. What makes our hands so fantastic is the possibility to grip things, because the thumb is in opposition to the fingers and we can grab easily things. And we do that every day. The movement that we do actually is this. Just try the same thing. Take a book or something and grab it. Watch out where the movement does come from. What we all use normally are the fingers in this banana form, I call it. That's not really completely relaxed, because if I relax my hand, my fingers fall down in this way. And for grabbing, I actually have to open and close it. That's not that I squeeze the book right now. I am able to use the amount of power that is necessary to keep the book in the position in my hand. Now, there are other movements that most of us have already done. There is, for example, the day that we were nervous in the office. Somebody just, spoiled our humor. What we do sometimes is hitting nervously the table. Watch where the movement is coming from. It's always from here. This is the metacarpophalangeal joint, the main joint of our hand. The banana form is still it. Now, when playing guitar, we're doing more than gripping. We are beating nervously on the table, because actually what we are doing is hitting the string. Now, let's hit the string in the air without any support. What I get is this movement, and this is kind of greeting. It's just waving the fingers to greet somebody. Now let's try to apply that to the guitar for the right hand. Waving our hands on the guitar, let's wave the hands with the finger all together and see what happens. Well, you already did that. This is normal strumming, more in a Spanish way as rasgueado, because we are going up and down with the finger, hitting the strings. In this very moment, I'm just using the index finger to do so. Well, this is a movement which is big, and I'm hitting more strings than one. If I would like to hit just one, I personally do a trick. I take my thumb and I lay it down on the second string, on the B string, and try to do this rasgueado just on one string. I do that quickly, and you should try to do that quickly too. Just try to find the point where the nail or the fingertip touches the string. It's obvious that you cannot touch the string on the very fingertip, but you have to do the point of the fingertip. If you touch in that point, you have really a very small surface that's touching the string, and that makes us play good. Try that with all your fingers. Middle finger and the ring finger. If you like, the pinky as well. Why not? So this is what I believe the most natural way to move the fingers. Now, what we actually do in classical guitar playing is not playing rasgueado all the time. We just use the movement that goes inwards the hand. So let's return to that first position. Put down the thumb on the B string and then just kick the string with the very point of the fingertip, if you have the fingernail. Now, in this point, we have to return to what I call the myth of relaxation. We actually can't be completely relaxed while playing. That's not possible. And the playing action is obviously the use of force to get the string into vibration. Now, what we should do anyway is not use too much force, neither in amount of strength nor in amount of time. So what we actually do is hit an impulse from the finger and very quickly move the finger into the hand. After that, we should release the force that put the finger into the hand, because we don't need that anymore. And hopefully the finger will return in a position from where we could start again. This is what normally is called relax your finger after the attack. Well, the feeling might be relaxed, but actually I believe it's a learned way to regain the starting position. Anyway, how you want to call it, that's the way to do. Try to do this with all your fingers. This rasgueado exercise actually helps us to develop the muscle that is re-stretching the finger outwards. So actually, if you play rasgueados, even in this way on just one string, you will train your muscles to bring the finger out again, to have the possibility of the repeating the impulse. So if we train a muscle, that should relax our finger. The thumb does the same work. Now there is a little problem with the thumb, as it follows its weight downwards, turning back. The relaxation, the so-called, that we need is an illusion as well, because you have anyway to lift the finger again, because once it's down, it can't really return without a little amount of force. Anyway, try to regain the starting position and having that feeling in the hand that everything is light, just as it was relaxed. Now, in order to non-influence the movement of one finger by the others, it's important to have that light feeling in the fingers that are not active. In this very point of our exercises, we are just using one finger, so it's quite easy to gain that sensation of lightly touching the strings, not being in tension with the fingers. And by the way, if we not want to be in tension with the fingers, we should not be in tension with the shoulders, with the spine, with everything. Be aware that watching what you're doing on guitar compromises almost all the time the best seating position. It's not forbidden to watch what you do, but return in a good playing position and learn to see with the fingers, to feel where the position is, to feel where the string is without seeing them. This is the very movement parting from the metacarpophalangeal joint and from this very special joint, which I don't know the name right now because the thumb is very complicated. The power of the movement does not only come directly from the fingers, but it comes from the forearm. And the best way to take our wrist to imply strength into the hand is with a straight wrist. What you can try to do is this. try to clap your hand just with one hand. That's not too easy. The movement anyway is coming from here. The fingertips will beat into the hand. And the wrist actually is helping doing this movement. Now consider the angle of the wrist. I personally have my wrist in this kind of angle because I very much prefer to have the metacarpophalangeal joint in one line with the fingertip that is touching the string. And that line should be really perpendicular to the string. Because doing so, the movement of the fingertip is upwards. There is no chance it goes in another direction. And in this way I can avoid to touch the second string when playing tocco tirando, the free stroke. Okay? Let's have a closer look on that. In my video on tone production, I explained that it's good to push the string towards the soundboard in order to have the best response of the soundboard. So when playing free stroke, the string should be pushed downwards, and after that the finger escapes, so to say, with the impulse into the hand. Okay, that's what I do for the right hand. In another video we will consider the left hand and how natural movements can be helping to play with the left one. Hope you liked the video. If so, push the like button and subscribe to the channel, and consider to subscribe to my newsletter as well. You'll find the link in the descriptions, so you will never miss a video and information again. And as well you can find the PDFs to the videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time.